Hello, everyone. I'd like to introduce you to George Stupus. He is the new president of the Association for Addiction and Justice-Involved Counseling. This is a subdivision of the American Counseling Association, and actually that's a really new name that just came out. You may not even see it on the ACA website yet. George, would you like to tell us about this subdivision, including your recent work to sort of change the name and the focus?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. It is hot off the presses and a brand new name for us. Formerly, since 1990, we were the International Association of Addiction and Offender Counselors. And with changing language and a drive to destigmatize some of the terminology we use, and with a recognition of our division membership and our mission, we decided to do the very long and prolonged study of what our current members felt about the name, as well as identifying a new one. Our division is I don't know if unique is the right word, but certainly odd in terms of divisions, because we have really two different populations. We have the folks who focus exclusively on working with problematic substance use disorders, process addictions. And then we have folks who work within the criminal justice system, people who may be incarcerated or returning citizens. And our division really started out in the 1970s as something called POCA, the Public Offenders Counseling Association. That's where we originally became a part of the American Counseling Association. And then in 1990, there was a recognition that addictions was a big part of the work for folks working within the justice system. So they combined the two, and that's kind of how we are today. And some people are only one or the other. And, yeah.
That Venn diagram has a really big middle. It's almost
really
still a perfect circle because of how we've criminalized people who use drugs.
Exactly. Yep. And so, some people are just the addictions piece. Some people are just the justice involved piece. Some people do both. But our membership, I think, is brought together. If you had to identify like the common bond, we are the folks who work with people for whom other folks say, I will work with anybody but them. And so I think we do really at our core a lot of destigmatizing work. We work a lot with the marginalized and disenfranchised and people who are dealing with a lot of adversity.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Awesome. So thank you for sharing that. Yeah. As graduate students, the students who are going to be watching this video are all in their internship semester. So they will be renewing their ACA and have the option of choosing subdivisions of where they want to do a lot of their work moving forward. Can you help us understand the benefits of joining this subdivision of ACA?
Yeah, well, I'm happy to get into kind of the list of the potential benefits and all of the cash and prizes stuff. But I will also share about my personal experience. So I joined our division when I was a doc student. And one of the things that has kept me coming back and kept me involved throughout all of these years really is the relationships. We have awesome people in our division. We're currently at about 750 members, so we're one of the smaller divisions. But I have been able to publish, to collaborate, to learn, to meet people from all over our country in person who have the same kind of drive and motivation and passion around this work as I do. So it really has provided a lot of mentorship and really friendship, professional and otherwise, opportunities. So I would say, once you've kind of find the group of folks who care about the things you care about, division membership is a great way of connecting with them and developing relationships. In terms of what our division offers, we have a number of really great committees where that work happens. We have a dedicated graduate student committee and a graduate student representative who is a new person every year. We have a number of grants, so we do student grant opportunities every year, and our call out for grants goes out kind of towards the early part of the calendar year. We also have a research consortium where students share their research. And it doesn't have to be original research. It can be literature reviews or practice-based research. So we have quite a few things where we bring people together around the mission of working with addictions or working with people who are justice involved, to develop relationships, to fund important projects, and to do this work.
Fantastic. Now, as a student member, so all of our students are members of ACA already as a student member. Do students join the subdivisions, or is it free for students to join the subdivisions? Is there a fee?
Yeah, so our normal professional membership is $49 as an add-on to ACA, and that hasn't changed in a bunch of years, and we have no plans to increase it right now. And you'll have to excuse me, I don't, off the top of my head, remember what the student membership rate is, but like ACA, there's a different rate depending on what your professional status is. Our division is really a great place for students because about half of our division members are students themselves.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So we have mostly practitioners, mostly students. There are some counselor educators in there. The students are a big part of what we do. And generally, they tend to be the most motivated folks coming into the division because they want to learn and they really care about this work.
So they will find their people there for sure.
Absolutely. Yep. Committee is a great place to start. Reaching out to the committee chairs. We have the Legislative and Advocacy Committee, the Process Addictions Committee, Multicultural Committee. And from there, there really is no expectation that anyone has to have any specific professional status or experience to participate.
And they're welcome to be on any committee they wish?
They are. Yeah. We have student members on, I think, just about every committee I can think of, possibly with the exception of the newly formed education committee that tends to be counselor educators. Although I think a student's input on curriculum, class learning objectives, different experiences and assignments really would be invaluable too.
Fantastic. And you also have a journal, right?
We do. And so our journal currently is the Journal of Addictions and Offender Counseling. And that is because it was tied to our previous name as a division. That journal is the place to go for counseling when it comes to working with anything pertaining to addictions, substance use disorders, or working with justice involved folks. And we have just really a lot of high quality articles that come out. We do have for students some emerging editorial board positions for students, especially at the kind of end stages of their work, where they can learn about refereeing, journal entries or journal submissions, and kind of just learning about what a journal is like.
Oh, that's wonderful. Any thoughts from the journal on also changing its name to match our new name?
Yes. Well, so that would be the idea. We're still in the process of doing that. That's a little bit trickier when it comes to things like impact factor and indexing and all of these, kind of algorithmic stuff that affects how terms are searchable. But that really was the resurgence of this name change process project again, was that some of our journal folks were noticing that they were receiving some pushback around the current journal name because it has that non-person first language and stigmatizing term offender in the title.
Well, I'm voting to find a way. There's got to be a way. If you take an impact factor hit, I'm down for it. Awesome. Thank you so much, George. I really appreciate your time today.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to help. And I'm happy to welcome all of the students here to our division. We are a lovely group of folks who really, care about people and want to make a positive impact in a place where there's a lot of opportunity to make positive impact.
Great. Thank you, George.